Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News with the Sen City Classic starting today and continuing this weekend. NRG are certainly a team in serious conversation. FNS, Som, Ethan, with Verno and Mardo, we believe, going into the upcoming season. But how good are they potentially going to be? Redux from now Sentinels, who played with Verno, and of course their new coach Bonker on Oxygen for the most recent season, gives his perspective on the new NRG lineup. He reckons that sure, they've got potential, but he does not necessarily think that FNS, in what he's basically confirmed as his last year competing in professional Valorant, is going to achieve all that much in his final year. Is FNS too washed to deliver championship results? Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty as ever to get into. Firstly, the following. Ethan, formerly Leviathan, is called up to the main roster. So, yeah, DRX bringing him up. DRX have made some interesting decisions, at the very least, this off-season period, and this is not exact. Well, it is another one for sure. I mean, like, the changes they've made have been quite substantial over the last 18 months or so. Is that going to be, the right step? Sometimes you have a great roster, of course, as they did for a long time with many of their players. They made some controversial decisions, of course, with RB departing and many other things they've done recently. They're trying to find a next generation. I get it for sure, but whether it actually works in the server, that is another question. This was kind of interesting as well. So, well, obviously, top dog over at G2 confirming that they've wanted Jorgamo for a long time, and it's kind of interesting to hear what's been happening behind the scenes, certainly with Evil Geniuses. So, basically, he said that, yeah, they wanted to sign Jorgamo, and I've been calling the CEO of EG for a year, telling him to let him go, telling him, EG CEO, to let Jorgamo go. He's a world champion, great kid, ideal fit for my Valorant team, very structured, very organised, but that lacks a mad dog, a duelist, to turn this team into the best in the world, just to let him leave. So also just let him leave. So obviously he's not going to let him leave for free, and therefore G2 gave them reasonable offers, as in money that they thought was fair. We gave them unreasonable offers. The implication kind of being, okay, EG said, all right, we'll sell him for, we won't sell him for what you want to pay for him, we'll sell him for this. And then they said, well, we'll offer this money that they thought maybe was beyond what G2 thought was reasonable. But still, EG said no. So, even until 2 months before the end of his contract, they kept telling me he's not leaving. 24 hours after the end of his deal, he was announcing his signing with G2. So, look, they wanted him for a long time. Again, these are like interesting business decisions by Evil Geniuses. Not like it's against their right to do this, but evidently G2 have wanted Jorgamo for a long time now, and they weren't getting him, mainly because, EG wouldn't let him go. Despite the fact that, sure, Jorgamo did a good job for EG this year, but it's not like they were achieving massive success. Had they let him go earlier for money, this is just one of these interesting decisions where, like, G2 will say, hey, we'll pay you all this money to get Jorgamo right now, and EG say, no, we want to keep him, but then his contract expires and he leaves for free. So it's like, surely if you're EG, it's better just to take the money offered, rather than, as long as it was pretty good money, rather than just allow him to go for free a few months later when it's not like Jorgamo was carrying EG to World Championship triumphs again or anything, because the team just wasn't as strong. That is what it is. So, yeah, EG doing EG things, I would say, on that. But still, their team for the new season is promising, to say the least. This is Potter's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to her on Halloween, of course. This was the team we saw. We did discuss, and you guys were talking in the comments below, on the temporary roster piece, whether there's anything in that. As I said yesterday, there was one rumour that's going around that maybe it's someone who's involved in the Game Changers World Championship that they really want to sign, with the intention that, well, after the GC World Championship is over, then they could potentially join the new EG roster in replacement for somebody. Not Paper X somebody, but someone on the roster. And I know that there was talk about this as well from Kamikaze, actually, at the start of October, when they were talking about, Fluorescence being incredibly talented. Now, okay, this is a little bit misleading. In some level, maybe misleading is the wrong word, but as is described, people who know that I've trained and competed against some of the best names in NA always ask me, what's Fluorescent like in scrims? They don't ask about TENS or Aspas, but it's like, they're not going to ask about Tens or Aspas because they are known quantities, right? Like, they're known to be absolute top-level players. So it's a very interesting one with Fluorescence because the possibility to go to another team has been there, to go to Tier 2. Does it make sense to go to Tier 2 rather than stay in GC and win everything? No. But obviously limiting potential to some degree by not doing so. This topic always seems to get very controversial, so keep things fair and reasonable in the comment section below, please. But yes, there has been discussions as to whether Floor could go straight from GC into a Tier 1 team, but it doesn't seem especially likely to me as it stands. Let's talk about Fnatic though. Kayak is in, officially confirmed. Some quality acting here from the boys. Obviously, you know, Chronicle everything. Now, at the end of the video here, they did not have Leo, right? So they had all the boys, but they have Sayonara here instead. So Kayak's in, but yeah, it's Boaster, it's Alpha, it's Sayonara, and then it's Chronicle in the background. No Leo in the team for now. But the thing is, Sayonara is only 16, so he can only play in the off-season tournaments. They will be bringing Leo back, assuming that he's ready to play. But yeah, this has been known now for a long time. It's always kind of tough for a team like Apex when you just qualify and basically your best player arguably gets stolen away by Fnatic, but it is what it is. And he has serious shoes to fill, replacing Durka on a team that dropped Durka for him. Basically, it's not like Durka left and they needed a replacement. They got rid of Durka to sign this guy. So, you know, he better deliver, and I think he will. There's a lot of talent in there for sure. But let's talk about some of the questions on the teams that are playing in the Sen City Classic. So it's Evil Geniuses are playing in it, Sentinels are playing in it, Cloud9 are playing in it, and of course NRG are playing in it, who have their new team heavily inspired by last year's Oxygen Esports roster on some level. So how are these guys going to get on? As Chet says, all eyes on NRG's new super team, because very excited to see those guys play. We've seen Sen, we've seen Cloud9 in action. EG is going to be exciting too, with the new NRG roster, very interesting indeed. So the Sentinels guys were giving their thoughts on this roster the other day on the podcast, and certainly Redux, who's played with Verno and been under Bonka on Oxygen last season, was giving his thoughts on the situation. Now, we know that FNS has made it very clear. Now, it's not like it's confirmed, but he said it on stream that this is going to be his final year competing, right? This is it. Obviously, last year, after making the return to competitive play, he's going to give it a go this season, and then whatever happens, happens, and likely he is going to call it a day competing at the end of the year. Redux makes the point that usually when a player is in their final season, it never goes especially well.
FNS Jet, what is this? What is this?
Come back. What?
This guy wants to talk about my raise satchels? What the fuck was that? He didn't even try. What, he was like, he's gonna slingshot into there?
Gen, guys. Wait, I fucked it up. Gen, guys. Nice. I have no smoke.
Here he goes the knives. Yo, he literally has no clue what's going on. He has no clue what's going on, bro.
How is John in spawn?
No.
What is he doing? What the fuck is he doing?
No.
What is he doing?
I feel like you played those two like the entire year, no?
I played
Or
with
with
Verno,
Verno, yeah.
and I played against Mata.
You fuck with the pickups?
I do.
Think they're
I
good?
do.
You do?
I think. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because my opinion is slightly crazy.
Okay.
Let's
His
hear it.
opinion's slightly crazy.
Okay, well,
That's all we need, the
Oh my
juice.
god.
Listen, I don't think many players do that well in their retirement year. I think that's how I can like say it like without being mean.
Who's retiring?
The FNS. This is last year.
Okay.
So I think it's really hard.
He fucking knows. Like he
Yeah,
knows
he
he's
already knows, bro.
retired.
He already knows, bro. I think it's just really hard. Like other than Tyson, because you know Ten's retired when he was super young. But like you know like getting into like the later years, it gets kind of hard to like win championships.
If you think about it, Tyson retired at 23. FNS is retiring at 33.
Is it 33?
He's 33.
He's
No
33.
way.
I think he's 33. 32, 33. I
I
think
mean, that's a long
I
career.
mean, props to him for being able to like compete that long.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like 30, so
Shut the fuck up. I'm going another 7 years.
But I think if anyone could like when I heard the roster before they added Mata, I was like, I'm not sure that's a championship winning roster. But Mata, I think he's very good.
Yeah.
So you're saying Verno wasn't enough?
No, I think. Oh my God! You
Yeah.
just bro, you want
He's good.
You want me to have drama with everybody?
He's
bro?
good. No,
Drop
he's
the
good.
bombshell,
Yeah.
Redux.
I'm not
Drop
used to
the
this.
bombshell.
Listen. But I think Bonker can make FNS a very good player. Like I think he can make him way better than he is already right now. And with Verno staying with Bonker, that's a very good package, right? And Mata added like on top, and Mata like I don't know him in like a team environment. Yo, Jordan.
I'm listening.
I don't know Mata in a team environment, but from talking to him, I can tell that he's very he's a good teammate. I can tell that.
Yeah, he
All
seems
right.
like a good teammate.
He seems like a good kid.
From what I know, he's vocal.
He seems vocal as well. So I think that'll be like they could low key win in like a big event with Mata added. Because like on paper before, I wasn't like too sure. I was like, you know, people already like, you know, don't do the best in their retirement year, and then now it's kind of hard unless you have an insane duelist.
So what do we think about Redux's perspective here, right? Because obviously he's pretty high on these guys in general, knows how good Verno is, believes Bonkar can potentially get the best out of FNS and therefore Ethan and therefore Som potentially in addition. And then Marder, he reckons, has a lot of talent and upside potential too. So the Sentinels guys seem to think that, yeah, this NRG team could be good. How good can they realistically be? Because it is, as he describes, relatively rare for players to go out on a high. I mean, we know that FNS, of course, you know, he's been around the block in multiple, you know, FPS esports for a very long time. He's going to have to step away at some point. But when a player confirms, like, this is going to be it, this is my final year competing, it's pretty rare that that year goes to plan in many respects, just because it's just kind of unlikely that you win events anyway, in addition to, you know, being at that kind of, you know, final part, not in your prime anymore, stuff like this. Because if you are still in your prime, then you probably wouldn't stop competing. So it just makes it more challenging maybe to win at that level at that point. FNS could do so for sure. Will they do so? I'm not convinced. Doesn't seem like the Sentinels boys are convinced, but I think we're going to get an indication of that today when, of course, that new Evil Geniuses team plays Cloud9. There is 20k on the line. I know people were joking and saying, oh, well, if there's, I think it was Era FPS was there, he did a tweet that said, nothing on the line, oh, looks like Cloud9 are going to win. But no, there is prize money here, and Cloud9 looked good before, but it's C9, EG, SEN, and NRG that are going to be playing tonight, tomorrow, and I think the Sunday as well, to lock in the confirmation for who right now is potentially one of the serious teams to beat in the Americas. But very much interested in your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.